Hazer, I guess just to start, it would be hard pressed for a team to go undefeated in a year. What can you learn from last week's game against Buffalo to bring into Vancouver?
The easy answer is play for 60 minutes. Like I say, I thought we had, again, different levels in our game. Backdoor wise, defensively, I thought we were really good for 3 quarters. And they get a couple sloppy goals on us that turn into 6 or 7 more, really, at the end of the day here. Um, so again, if we got to clean up a couple of easy things, one to Hoga's goal, we slide to stick, not to body. Then the next goal, Tut runs in, turns the wrong way, runs into him, drops the ball, and Dane gets it wide open. Bucky on a little pick and roll that we again wanted to clean up, and their 3 goals turned into 4, which turned into 6 real quick. So defensively, we got to play for 60 minutes. Offensively, we had a really good start to the third quarter. A great response after having a lackluster. I'm not going to say when I say lackluster. Our effort was there. It's just we weren't very sharp. So we got to make sure that we are dialed in, ready to play right from the get go, top to bottom. And like I say, it's going to be a tough environment to play in Vancouver. I think it's going to be a first for a lot of these guys to play there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
How challenging do you think this Vancouver team will be?
Very challenging. They are, one thing I think that we can hang our hat a little bit on is they're very similar defensively to what we just faced in Buffalo. They're big, they're strong, they get in lanes. They're going to put you on the ground and make you pay for everything you earn. They get up the floor well, and again, offensively, they're very structured, they're very disciplined, but they are all great lacrosse players that just take advantage of mistakes. So it's a lesson that hopefully we'll take from last weekend into this weekend and clean up a few things that we're better prepared.
I don't know if we'll end up seeing him on the floor or not, but Connor O'Toole on this team, just actually before this got off the phone with Pat, you saw that kid as a baby in Rochester. What does it mean, and what could it potentially mean if you saw an O'Toole jersey step on the floor against the Knighthawks?
It'd be pretty surreal at the end of the day here because yeah, I met him in day one of his life, right? And again, he shares my birthday as well, so there's another connection. Not only being my nephew, he stole my birthday and made it his. But yeah, it'd be very surreal because again, you hope for the opportunities for my son, for him, and to see where he's gotten so far. It'd be great, and to tell you the truth, that's our plan. I hope we do see both of them.
Yeah, means you're probably up big in the game there, Mike. Yeah.
Just a couple years apart, though, eh, Hazer?
A couple, yes.
Uh, Maybe riddle me this: you guys had 2 draft picks in front of them, and went with Hogg and McDonald, and O'Toole was there, snapped up by Vancouver right after. Like, I know it's Dan Carey and it's a whole team thing, but maybe why did you guys leave O'Toole sitting there when you could have had him?
You know what we got? We've got 2 young goalies in there, who were trying to find their way at that particular time, and no. It'd be nice. Again, it would have been really cool to have Connor drafted there, but at the same time, we had bigger needs and bigger question marks that we had to fill at that particular time. And I'm not going to say if he was there for our next pick, we would have took it, but again, he was on our radar. It's just our needs were a little bit deeper and a little bit greater at that particular point.
Uh, we're going to jump back over to me here, Brad. We'll come back to you later in here. I'm just going to hop over for me and then Adam and then Ripper, just in the order of where people were. Hazer, kind of sticking on that point, even if Connor does not end up playing in this game, what have you seen in him? And obviously, being as close as you are, talking with Patty, he was talking about how he coached him, but he said that this was a kid who really sought out being self-taught and is very detailed and kind of into the analytical side of the game. Have you seen that as well?
A little bit, and again, you know what? I've never had Connor. I've never coached Connor before, right? So it's seeing him as a kid, and that's my perception of him. He loves lacrosse. But at the end of the day, cottage, it's fishing, it's boating, it's this, that, and the other. It's life is more important than my outlook with Connor. But 100%, he's just turned himself into a really good goaltender. And again, just outside looking in, last couple of years of junior, he became a force in Ontario on the junior side of things. He was one of the better goalies. That's why Orangeville picked him up and went for a mental run with him this particular summer, right? So he's his game has developed and not to, and again, he's grown tremendously. He's a big kid now too. So yeah, he's just not little Connor anymore. He's a legit goalie. He's going to find his way in this league.
Awesome. Thanks, Hazer.
No problem.
Adam, we'll go to you.
Perfect. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey there, Adam. How good? How about yourself?
Good, very good. Busy week. Obviously, it feels like we're talking about the elephant in the room without talking about the elephant in the room. Who's going to be in net this weekend? Is it going to be Hartley, or are we going to see more of Hutchcraft?
No, it's going to be Hutchie again here this weekend, and Hearts is a little bit better. Not quite fully ready yet, but yeah. And you know what? In saying that, like Hutchie played well. He kept us in it that first half. He made a lot of great saves in the third quarter, and we let him down in the fourth, where they got really clean looks in the middle of the floor where we didn't allow. So,
and that kind of leads into my next question, which is through the first three quarters there in the last game, was that kind of what you want to see from your defense, goaltending, and transition but obviously for a full 60 minutes?
100%. Again, we pushed the ball with pace in the transition side of things. I'd like to capitalize on a couple more of them to hopefully, well, at that particular time, close the gap a little bit. But yeah, that's exactly the way we wanted to play. And you know what? And two bad luck goals, we kind of lost our focus and kind of lost what we were doing, which turned it again into 3, 4, 5, and 6 pretty quickly, right? So we just got to make sure we're sticking with what our principles are.
And so that might be a similar answer to this next and last question I have for you. But when it comes to facing a team where the last game they played, they obviously also didn't have the result that they wanted, and they surrendered a large lead, and obviously they're hungry to win. Is a team like that more dangerous to face?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, and being their home opener as well. Our home opener, we wanted to put our best foot forward and put on a good show, and we did. So yeah, I don't expect anything from them, and Kurt's going to make sure they're dialed up, and they're what they did 2 weeks ago is not what they're going to do this weekend. So we got to make sure 100% that we are bang on focused right from the get go and ready to play because they are.
Ripper, do you have anything for Hazer?
Yeah, you can let Brad and Jake go.
Okay, Brad, you're back up here, or Jake, whoever wants to go.
I'll go. Not sure what Bradley's doing. Good to see you and talk with you, Mike, as always. Just I don't know if it was covered. We were a couple minutes late, but just the difference in particular on the offensive end in between, the Vegas game and the Buffalo game. What do you think the differences were in that one?
You know what? I'm going to say, a championship team coming to our building who plays very physical, who packs it in really tight with the elitist of the elite goaltenders, had a second guessing. That first half, we have opportunities to shoot and we'd be double clutching because somebody's sort of half in the lane, half not. And again, we didn't penetrate their zone to stretch them out at all. We just were very perimeter, settled for a lot of stuff. And then at the start of the third quarter, we came out flying. And that's the way we got to play because, again, it stretched them. We saw our shots. We took our shot. We didn't think about it. And, we got to play that way for 60 minutes.
Bradley, you there?
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm back. Apologize about jumping in there. Didn't realize the formality of this one, but appreciate the time. Hazer, just tell us about not a lot of West Coast guys on the team, but always interesting when you guys come into BC. Taylor Jensen, and the guys are telling a story on the broadcast last week about given an opportunity to take faceoffs in Peterborough. So, like, what did you see in him that made you think that he could be a draw guy given that opportunity? And what more can you say about him coming and playing at home here?
That was him that said, like, hey, I can take a couple faceoffs, and yeah, it started in Peterborough because Jake Withers was missing a couple games, and Matty Gilray just sort of he's able to do it. He gets up and mucks it, and Jensen said, I can do it too. Fired in there, and then at the start of this year, it wasn't the plan. We had drafted the one kid out of Albany to come in and take some faceoffs, but at the end of the day, we want to put our best group on the floor. Jensen's that, and he has the ability to muck it. And again, the other thing too with Jensen is if he does lose it, he's not giving up on it. He's going to make it as difficult as possible to on that face-off guy or the guy picking up the ball and pushing in transition. He's a dog in a bone. He's going to chase that ball down and make you earn it.
Did I hear you mention? I don't know if it was on when you were on the podcast or not, but that he was right near the top of the charts as far as fitness testing goes as well.
Jens, yeah, 100% he is. He's again, he's lean, but he's deceivingly strong. And if you don't know him, he's quick as hell. The guy just flies, right? So, yeah, he's taken his body to a different level in year two.
It sounds like Ryan Smith's kind of done the same thing for you here, Mike. Chantal was saying he's dropped 15 pounds of good weight to kind of try and take his game to the next level too.
100%. That's the benefit of, again, for young guys, you want them to get more reps, and those reps sometimes come in the summer. But yeah, he, truth be told, he was hurt the last half of the years where his production dropped. And so he rehabbed that injury after a little surgery there. And yeah, he's better for it, and we're better because of it.
You guys don't first time rock this art incarnation of the Knighthawks have been to Vancouver, believe it or not. But definitely some success in this market with 2013. What do you remember about that 2013 championship game here in Vancouver?
Held my breath at the end of it there at the end of the day because we turned over a ball late in transition, and I think they had one, if not two shots on it to tie it up. So, yeah, and you know what? And I'm not too sure if that was the last time we were there or not. We were trying to remember, but yeah, it's yeah, that one held my breath for about 2-3 minutes there, to say the least.
What else are you expecting out of Vancouver? And they're going to be a pissed off team, Mike. We know this, right? They're coming off a disappointing loss. I think it's going to be two real hungry teams, and early in the season for sure. But I think an important kind of pivotal game to put the season on the right path here and get a belief in your team that this is where we want to go, sort of thing.
110%, man. And you know what? And you even go back to last year, we played them early here in Rochester and got that one. And at the end of the day, it counted because it kind of put us over the top when we were all tied at 8-10 to get that final playoff spot. So yeah, we're disappointed in the way we played, as I know they will be, and Mouse is going to have those guys just pumped and angry, to say the least, and they're going to be physical. They already are. So we gotta match that. We gotta match their intensity. Hold the fort down a little bit and just sort of get our legs underneath us and push back at the end of the day here. And yes, because as you mentioned, as I said earlier, this game matters. It's the only time we're going to see them, and to come away with a win early gets us in the right frame of mind. But standing wise, if it push comes to shove, it could help or hinder us at some point too.
How much of it? Sorry, Chantal, I'll let you jump in here next. But how much of it is a chess match with Kurt when you're matching wits here in game, making adjustments? Going back and forth. Obviously, it's a guy you know really well, and it's a bit of a chess match, right? During in game, like I know you do all the prep beforehand, but when it comes to in game and you see a different wrinkle, like how big of a chess match is it during in game stuff?
It's to tell you the truth, it's fun because Mouse has got such a great mind for the game on the offensive side and the defensive side. Like he's he's always pushing buttons to make sure they're clicking. So yeah, it's fun. It is we lean on our principles and our prep work an awful lot, because they are so disciplined in their structure, and again they turn into lacrosse players off their structure, right? So we got to be ready for anything, and yeah, it's not the same every single shift. So we got to make sure we're on our toes, and like say, and Mouse is fiery, I'm for one like to see his reactions on TV and in person, and it turns into a lot of fun playing against him, trying to match what he's trying to do.
Hey, Coach Chantel here. I'll be doing sidelines in Vancouver. I'll definitely come introduce myself when I see you there on the bench.
That's good.
As for Vancouver, they have a big bodies on defense. They're very gritty and they like to get out in transition. And obviously, Owen Grant had a great game in that first game for Vancouver, and we know how much of a lethal weapon he can be. How do you guys try to contain him and try to contain that Vancouver transition?
That's a question that kind of hits us on a weekly basis here, because teams have had the ability to get going on us a little bit, and a little bit too much to my liking personally. But we just got to make sure we're responsible. And in our prep work, they've got a ton of clips of him going, plus a lot of others going on the outside shots and tracking down loose balls and going. So yeah, we just got to make sure that we're going to be very responsible. And again, for us switching benches here a little bit too, we're not quite as comfortable trying to stop that transition. So we're going to have our hands full a little bit. Our lefty's going to have to take a bigger role, which puts a lot of attention on Fieldsy and T-Mac and Turner there to make sure they don't have those clean looks on us.
How about for you personally, Mike? You've been at this a long time, man. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you wanting to continue to evolve and get better as a coach?
You know what? It's because it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and starting. The old Knighthawks is one thing. We had a lot of success, but starting this next generation of us from scratch, to see the steps that this group has taken and this core has taken, it's fun to be a part of at the end of the day. And you know what? I don't know. The wins and losses matter, and they, and those losses hurt, right? They carry with you. But at the end of the day, when we get to practice Tuesday, it's a clean, fresh slate, and we're going to work and we're going to prepare, and we're going to have some fun again, because again, life is so much important than this game at the end of the day. And to see the groups come together and be together, that's why it keeps me coming back, because the opportunity and the possibilities of what this group is going to do, it's yeah, I keep saying it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
I think I'm good, Brad. I don't know about you two.
Hey, Brad and Jake, the last time we played in Vancouver was February 25th, 2017 with the old Knighthawks.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Final score, Ripper?
12-8 Rochester.
Oh,
Well, what was that, like your 427th game you've ever called, Rip, or what?
You start all blurring together.
Yeah.
that they do, Rep.
All right, guys. Well, if that is everything, then we appreciate you coming on here for the call, and good luck here this weekend.
I just had one more question, actually, if that's all
Sure,
right.
Adam. Yeah.
So, Coach, I just wanted to add this one. From what you guys have put on the floor already this season, is there a guy that you think is standing out that hasn't gotten the recognition, at least publicly, that you think deserves a little so far this season?
You know what? Not really a guy that kind of points to individuals, but I will say one guy is Turner Evans. He does all the little things that doesn't necessarily, well, he shows up on the score sheet as well, but he does a lot of stuff offensively, and responsibility wise that hey, he may not get enough credit for. We see it and we know what he does. But he's one guy that stirs the drink for us for sure. And he's doing a great job at it. When we missed him last year, we felt it. He was injured for a good chunk of the season, and we felt it during that run where we were. I think we lost 6 or 7 in a row, and that he was a big piece as to why. And he's a big piece of our success and what we do offensively for sure.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Coach.
No problem at all. Thank you.
All right. Well, if that's everything, then Hazer, we appreciate your time here today, and appreciate everybody else for helping in with questions. And we wish you luck this weekend in Vancouver.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys. Thanks
See
for
you
the
guys
opportunity.
Friday.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you out here. Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.